Like this, based on what they saw for the tribunal lifestyles, I declare you so. Normally, until the last update where I drop on Friday, those are clear and say based on the time frame and the timetable they drop. So now on Friday, all the respondents supposed give their final address in response to Labour Party and Peter Obi final address where they drop for the tribunal lifestyle. Yes, now. As I declare you so, that Friday night, so that be day. Now, second and third responded, which is Tinubu Shetty'S, that they dropped their own. The other responded, they not really dropped their own. As so the ones where the one where second and third responded, they dropped so almost 60 pages now. Say I'm not there for a while. I'm not because they read full textbook given that. So like I declare, so this thing is so that one girl, one of our vibrant obedient sister, Miss Pearls, called summarize everything. Drop for us. So that the summary of that second and third respondents reply to Labour Party and Peter Obi final address. So now I won't give that like this. So anyway, we did watch this video from. I take God beg you just to share the video so that every other person will get interest for this tribunal lifestyle matter. So better if you see this video, better know that they sup for the tribunal lifestyle. Tomorrow normally they go see meet for court. Normally we go they court tomorrow for adoption of address. When I listen what damn you listen to everything with the inside this response. So now be bay say second and third respondents, which is Tinubu Shetty'S, started by saying that instead of presenting their own case, Labour Party and Peter Obi decided to reply the final address of Tinubu Shetty'S, thereby abandoning the petition. Labour Party and Peter Obi did this by tagging their final written address, petitioners' final written address, in response to the second and third respondents, which is Tinubu and Shetty'S final written address. They continued by stating that Labour Party did not even formulate any issues for determination at all. They relied on Order 22, subsection 5 of the FHC rules, which enunciates how issues for determination should be formulated. So they further argued that Labour Party, by not responding to cogent issues raised by Tinubu Shetty'S, had admitted those issues. So some of the issues they claimed was left unattended are the purported evidence of Exhibit PW4, which only covered Benue and Rivers. They added that none of the witnesses called by Labour Party offered any scintilla of evidence to avail the court of the total number of votes that should be due to Labour Party and Peter Obi as a result of the non-electronic transmission of votes to IREV, and the number of votes that have been unduly accredited to the Tinubu Shetty'S. Tinubu and Shetty'S mentioned that in paragraph 3, subsection 9, on page 3 of their address, Labour Party admitted that they did not present or tender before the court CTC of top copies of the EC8A, which by implication means that they are admitting not having credible evidence before the court. As regards the issue of qualification of Tinubu, they mentioned that the cases cited by Labour Party are all misleading, as there was no charge or arraignment plea, conviction or sentence in Tinubu's instance. They also mentioned on the issue of compliance that Labour Party admitted that the blood copies they tendered cannot by any stretch of imagination be described as the authentic from EC8As. Hence, they leave the court with no option than to conclude that the only authentic evidence has not been provided by Labour Party and Peter Obi. They also mentioned that Labour Party misinterpreted the case of Labour Party versus INEC at the FHC. They argue that the case is direct and straightforward as regards transmission of results. On Oyetola versus INEC, which they also said was misinterpreted by Labour Party, They argued that it wasn't an appeal against the decision of the Labour Party versus INEC, and the Supreme Court could not have overruled it. As regards the issue of second and to third votes in the FCT, they argued, relying on Awolowo versus Shagari, that without any equivocation, that it would not have been the intention of the legislature that the FCT should have a casting or determining votes in a presidential election. They also mentioned that in the entire petition of the Labour Party, at no point did they assert that they won the election, which further demonstrates that their petition is at its very best an expedition and a frolic of some sort. Conclusively, they argue that the argument of the Labour Party be discountenanced. So, now the summary of the response where second and third respondent give to Labour Party and Peter Obi final written address. As they drop that one, I be gay. Some people call drop, some people they comment under this summary. So I'll just take one or two comments. You listen, one plus 360 NG. Go comment or say, first, they forgot that Peter Obi and Labour Party is not challenging Tinubu's presidency. Rather, he is challenging the process which brought him to office. To the office of the president. In other hands, you cannot sneak in through the window and start cleaning the house, which is true. Normally, right from the beginning of this petition, Peter Obi always say, we are challenging the process. We are challenging the process. So, we don't know what all this one they call talk. Maybe not concert the Jordan. But now one Chijoke Koto say, Peter Obi's legal team revealed the difference between a purchased son title and an earned son. Then be another person comment, one prince got to say, go laugh. Gonna say, with this, I am confident that we will win. I guess the lawyers are not following. Tinubu was convicted of money laundering. Nah. No substantial argument on 25% in Abuja. We will win. So I just stop there. Now some of the comments will follow the summary of this final written address. Why just telling us so? Anyway, they watch it from abeg, don't forget to also share the video, make other people will get interest for this Shepherd's lifestyle. Maybe they for see them, may they know what they saw. Not also forget say tomorrow, which is 1st of August. Now be the date where courts don't fix now. We'll be say all the parties, both the petitioners and the respondents, or everybody go inside the court for adoption of address. And also forget say after this adoption of address, they will come fix dates for final judgment for this matter. So all eyes on the judiciary. Our torchlight day on there. Anyway, we just thank God for everything.